Well, hello, and another week of Soap Secrets. Here we are. Hi, Claire Rock.
Hi, Hannah.
I love to introduce you with your full name. Okay, so the Euros are still in play, aren't they? So we've got the quarterfinals of the Euros on Saturday, and then the semi-finals on Tuesday and Wednesday for any of those of you who are watching. So currently, unfortunately, Casualty may or may not be on Saturday, depending. And Holby, EastEnders, Emmerdale and Corrie might be on either Tuesday or Wednesday, depending which channel takes which semi-final. Oh, it's so confusing. Anyway, we're going to do our level best to bring you all the gossip this week, despite the interruption to our channel spot. And let's move to Emmerdale, because this is an absolutely cracking week in Emmerdale, isn't it?
Yes, it's... there's only so much I can say. I can say this. Mina murders a villager.
What?
I know. We can say that.
Who?
This is what I can't say.
You give and you take.
I know. So we all know Mina's a bit mean. She is... We've seen what she's capable of. She put Andrea's small dog, Princess, in a car, in a hot car.
It's just so awful. That storyline was just so awful.
I know it was, wasn't it? You know, and we were really lucky that somebody found little Princess and she was saved. We've seen her evil side. She's just been messing with lots and lots of people. To be honest with you, the dog, it was for me the biggest thing. I just thought, you know, this dog is innocent in anything. So this week, a couple of weeks ago, viewers also discovered that one of Mina's friends died in mysterious circumstances years ago. So this is another black mark against Mina. You know, we've seen her being manipulative and dishonest. She's desperate to move in with David, Hannah, desperate. And she thinks that his son Jacob is stopping that happening. Well, David is always there for his kids, and he's always been there for lovely Jacob, even after all the mayor stuff, when his girlfriend groomed him and everything. It was, you know, David's a hands-on dad, so he will be there for Jacob. And so she plots to get rid of him. So is Jacob going to be her victim?
It sounds like she's got real form. She might not be quite who we've not really liked her for a while, but she really might be worse than we even imagined.
Yes. And when Manpreet gives a rucksack to Leanna for her travels, because Leanna's going on a trip, she doesn't realise that it contains some of Mina's items. And how far will Mina go to get back?
Well, you kind of wonder what they are, why she needs them. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And then when David kisses Victoria this week, how far will Mina take her revenge? So we've got 4 potential victims: Jacob, Leanna, David and Victoria.
Yeah. But I can't help this, Claire. I'm too excited about the next part of this. I really am. Kim Tate. She lives to see another day. I mean, I just, this is unbelievable. I'm sorry to race on, but this is my favourite storyline.
I know. So it was a really good one. You know, when we said Kim Tate was dead, I did know she wasn't. But, you know, this is the way Emmerdale wanted to play it. And so the fans, when they saw it on the screen, it was like, she's dead. But, you know, so, yes, there was a body bag there. Will was being arrested. And this was just a ruse to catch the real poisoner, who was her son,
Yeah,
Jamie.
and do you know what? I think we called that, didn't we? Or we certainly had our feelings around that.
Yes. Yeah. So,
well, I'm so glad.
So it's all right.
Back.
Kim's still alive.
Emmerdale would not be the same without Kim Tate, would it? I'm very pleased to hear it. Okay, so Coronation Street. Todd and Billy get engaged this week, don't they?
Yes. I'm really not a big fan of Todd. I don't think anybody is. He is kind of like Mina. He's very manipulative and dishonest, and he stole Billy from Paul. So I think Billy's such a nice guy. How can he not see through Todd? This is what I'm always shouting. And Paul tells Billy, of course, you know, the guy that really should be with Billy, he says he will live to regret it. And I'm sure all the fans and me are shouting at the TV screen saying, yes, we all agree agree with you. And sure enough, this week, Todd is getting threatening letters telling him his lies will come out.
I mean, all lies
of course
come out
they will,
eventually,
Hannah.
don't they? In real life and in soapland.
Yes.
Yeah, that is an interesting storyline and a bit sad, really, because Billy's so nice.
Yes.
Yes,
I know.
Last week we saw. I mean, Gail had a heart attack, which was a huge shock, I think, for viewers actually. But she survived, thankfully. And this week she's on her way.
Yes, she's off to Thailand.
Well, I would be if I could be. Let me tell you.
So this is one of the things I'm really loving about the soaps, Hannah, at the moment. They've sort of put COVID to one side, so everyone goes everywhere.
COVID is just a memory in soapland. I suppose it is escapism at its best.
Because I think, off the top of my head, I think Thailand might be a red country. Yes. So she wouldn't be going there. But anyway, this week she pops off to Thailand. She's off to escape her family, and really, quite frankly, I can't blame her. Can you?
I would do. I'd run for the hills too. I'm not sure if I'd run for Thailand, to the red country, but. In as you say, in soapland there is no COVID anymore, which is a wonderful dream of all of ours, actually. Now,
yes.
My favourite storyline, I like that you keep me updated every week on this. I have a vested interest. Fizz makes Ty tell the girls that they're going to have a baby brother or sister.
Yes, and quite frankly, he should be the one to tell them. This is a big thing in any child's life. A new sibling coming along, and it's even bigger here because it's with his new girlfriend. So they're probably going to be feeling pushed out. Does he? I mean, they already feel he loves Alina more, and I think Hope's already shown that she's not very happy. So she got Alina into trouble with the false eyelashes. She ran him out in front of a car. So, really, I worry how's Hope going to take this news.
She struggled with the whole thing anyway. She's struggled anyway, hasn't she? And then now this on top, it's going to be even worse.
Yes.
So we could see her really going off the rails, I think.
Yes. Yeah.
Now, over in the world of Hollyoaks, we've got Katie McGlynn's first appearance, and fans will remember, or Corrie fans will remember her playing Sinead.
Yes. Sinead, who wed Daniel, had son Bertie, and then died very sadly of cancer. So so she's making her first appearance in Hollyoaks this week, and she plays new mum Becky, who strikes up a friendship with Diane. Now, Diane and Tony did get little Eva back from when Cher kidnapped her. But, so that, on top of everything else with Diane's OCD, she's really struggling. She's missing hospital appointments. So, So she meets this Becky outside of the hospital, and they get chatting, and Becky suggests that they go to the park for a chat and a walk. And Diane confides all her worries into Becky. But is this Becky all that she seems?
Almost certainly not, I would say, being a betting woman I am these days. Having said that, I do love the fact that people can just jump or hop from one soap to another. And at first it feels a bit weird, and then really quickly it becomes normal.
Yes. Yeah, she has been gone for about a good year, I think, Katie.
Yeah, true. But even so, it's kind of it doesn't take long, does it, for you to kind of, you're like, oh yeah, I recognise that face. Oh yeah, and then soon they get completely moulded into the new soap.
She's also dark-haired in this, where she was very blonde in Corrie.
Yeah, that's true. And Sally's in danger, isn't she?
Yes, lovely Sally, John Paul's mum. So fans will remember that Sally, desperate to get her son John Paul out of prison, confessed to dodgy PC Smith that she killed PC George Kiss because John Paul had been arrested and put in prison for it. Now, I'll be honest with you, Hannah, I'm still at some point expecting PC George Kiss to pop up out of nowhere and say, hey, I'm not actually dead. But and I'm sure half the fans are, because this is a soap and people don't tend to...
as we know.
Yes. But Sally, Jean Paul's mum is a transgender person, so she's vulnerable to bullying and violence in jail, and she has been bullied and she's been beaten up in jail. So, John Paul is desperate to save his mum. And when Sally plans her escape, I don't know how you can escape from prison. It takes quite a bit. But anyway.
How is that even going to happen?
Yeah, I know. Will he agree to help her escape?
Probably. And then everyone gets into trouble.
Yes.
It's all going on in Hollyoaks, isn't it?
Yes.
Gosh, it really is. Okay, so EastEnders.
Yeah.
You cannot miss this week's Friday episode because my favourite, Harry Redknapp, makes an appearance, doesn't he?
Yes, he does, at the Euro party in the square. So, and Mick is in seventh heaven. It's absolutely amazing.
And they actually sort of offset became quite good friends, I think, didn't they? They got on really, really well.
He's a big fan of West Ham that Harry Redknapp used to play for and also manage. But Mick's, that's the best bit in his week meeting, Harry Redknapp, because there was tragedy for the Carters this week when Nancy's knocked down in a hit and run. I know.
Oh, no.
And the driver is her own sister, Frankie. So,
oh, no. And is it critical?
Yes, she's in hospital and she's unconscious, yes. They're all worried and sitting by her bedside. So Frankie's looking a bit down and she's also a bit sweet on Zach. I mean, who isn't sweet on Zach? So Mick asks Zach to take Frankie on a driving lesson. Well, Frankie comes downstairs dressed more like for a date. And Zach also treats it more like a date, and he suggests they drive to the pub where he gets tipsy. But of course, Frankie actually can't drive. So as the person who's given her a lesson, he should not have had any alcohol. Anyway, so Frankie has to drive them both home with no guidance from Zach, and she's unused to driving in the dark, and she hits someone. And when she gets out of the car, she finds it's Nancy. Has she killed her?
Do you know what? I can't. It takes me to a place just the most awful. Can you imagine? Awful. Because accidents do happen,
yes.
But it's just horrendous. And Phil's also not up to no good, but against Denise's wishes, he tells Raymond that he is his dad.
Yes, Denise specifically said she didn't want him to say that. Now, we all know Phil loves his kids, and we all know that he's not going for a football team, he's going more like for a gang, isn't he? A sort of like a Fagin gang to do all these dodgy deals. And he loves Raymond, and Raymond's just he's just bringing him into the fold, isn't he? Along with all the other kids, his own kids, like Louise and Ben, and the ones he's adopted. I mean, he treated Denny like his own son before he passed. Jay, Keanu before he slept with his wife. So family is really important to Phil, really, really important. And so he does tell Raymond he's his dad, and Denise hits the roof. And he was always going to do this. He keeps his kids close, but she shouts at him. But Phil is going to go for custody, at least shared custody.
And that's one thing that he is really sort of good at, isn't it? In terms of he is very, he's a good dad.
Yes.
I mean, it's questionable in areas, but in terms of kind of his ethics maybe. But but he like you say, he keeps his kids close.
Yes, he does.
So it was always going to happen.
Yeah.
Denise was never going to get away with that.
No.
Right. Well, thank you very much. It is. Right. Well, thank you very much for that. Thanks, everybody. It's been another great week. Enjoy the football if you're watching that. If not, enjoy the soaps because there's lots going on. Thanks for listening, and we will see you next week.